say, my name is Katie Bork, and I am the Youth Services Librarian at Newburytown Library. I am originally from North Carolina, and I learned this at a church retreat in North Carolina. So the woman who taught me, her name is Cindy Fitzgerald. Not a very Ukrainian name. I'm not Ukrainian at all. So you don't have to be Ukrainian in order to know how to do the eggs. I'm realizing slowly but surely different things that I have forgotten to put on your tables. On your tables, you will find a lit candle. Please don't burn yourselves. You will find a very raw egg. Okay? The key there is raw. This will remain raw throughout today, throughout next year, and eventually the insides will either evaporate or solidify. Okay? If they evaporate, there's no sound. If they solidify, they have two choices. They will either Don't tell my husband I did that. I made this one for him. So they will either break or solidify and become marbles, or, oh wait, this is the one. My personal favorite. Become wiggle wobble people. This is what happens when you don't turn your egg. Okay? So, sorry, come back here. This is my wiggle wobble person.
Oh, that's cute.
Okay? My mother says you need to flip these over every time you dust. I am not. With that being the case, you flip them over every time you see them, every time you think of them, every time you pull them out at Easter, whatever the case may be. Because otherwise they will become wiggle wobble people. What does a wiggle wobble person mean? Absolutely nothing. That's just where the yolk is settled and solidified. So it does not change the concept behind the egg, regardless of what happens on the inside. All right? So, in front of you, you have a spoon. Your spoon is what you're going to use to get your egg in and out of the die. Okay? Your pencil is going to be what you're going to use at the very beginning to start the design on your egg. This is a number 2 pencil, a plain old boring pencil like that in front of it. It is recommended you use a number 3 pencil because they are harder, but it doesn't matter. This end of your pencil is completely off limits. Do not use your eraser because it has a wax in it that will keep the dye from adhering to your egg. Wax from the kiska is good. Wax from the eraser is bad. Okay?
Pencil wax bad.
Yep.
Is it pencil wax bad?
Pencil wax? Pencil wax bad. Yes.
Pencil wax bad.
Pencil wax bad. This, if you are not aware, is a square of beeswax. It's a plain old boring square of beeswax. This is the beauty. This is a kiska. It's like my favorite word to say. Kiska. Okay, this is your writing implement. This is what's going to get the wax from the block onto your egg. Okay? We're going to use this in just a moment. Rumor has it in the Ukrainian tradition, once a child can hold a pencil and write their name, they are able to work on eggs. My kids are just now 8 and 9. They're still working on it. Because I look at it going, candle, flame, bad. Because I love my children, but they're just now 8 and 9. So, your yellow sheet of paper is your directions on one side and your pattern on the other. Okay? The pattern is the picture, that's the egg that we're going to be doing today. The important thing is you're going to do it step by step, egg by egg. Okay? So, egg number 1 is your white egg, because that's the color egg that you're starting on. Okay? I know it's going to seem a little counterintuitive as you're working on the pattern going, but it says white and then it says yellow and I'm confused. Trust me on this. It's going to work. All right? Every egg in this room is going to be different, and every egg is going to be perfect and beautiful. All right? At the very end, when we're doing the great reveal, you're going to want to be very careful with your eggs because they are still raw and they can break. And I had a poor woman break her egg at the very end on Thursday. I felt bad. I felt even worse when she stood up and looked like she had an accident because she caught it in her lap. Right. Now, in all the years that I've been doing eggs, that's the very first time that I've actually had a raw egg break on me. I've had other eggs. But I will also say that when you get these home, I'm going to send you home with a cardboard egg carton. And if you decide to put them away, keep them in the cardboard. Don't wrap them in bubble wrap because they need air to be able to get around them. Otherwise, they will explode. And an exploding egg, even a year-old exploding egg, stinks. All right? Because trust me, I've had that problem. They were my children's eggs. So, are you guys ready to get started? Yes. You're like, All right. Here is what we're going to do. I'm going to get a plain old boring ugly egg. My eggs that we have with us today, I purchased at Market Basket. All right? So these are not fancy farm fresh eggs. You can get fancy farm fresh eggs. You can get brown eggs. You can get white eggs. As long as they are clean and raw, you're good to go. And this lovely lady right here has gotten ahead of us. She has blown out her eggs. I don't do that because when I blow them out, they are more fragile, and it adds an extra step. But she did that, and that is fantastic. All right? So we're going to take our pencils, and on the top of our eggs, whichever you want the top to be, you're going to draw yourself a nice big X over the top. And when I say big, I mean nice and big. All right? You want it to be nice and big because in a moment, you're going to go all the way down with those lines. All right? Nice and big. It doesn't have to be dark. It doesn't have to be perfect. Just nice and big. You're going to want bigger than that. Okay. You're going to want bigger than that. All right? And now what you're going to do is you're going to take your pencil and you're going to go all the way down. I kind of think of this as like the circus tent idea, where you've got the long lines going down, and then you're going to connect it over the other end so you get another X at the top, or bottom, whatever you want to look at it. So you've got 4 lines that go top to bottom all the way around. We do this with warm eggs because if you take them straight out of the refrigerator, they will get condensation on the outside. Okay? Because I have forgotten to tell you this until now, you are going to want to keep your eggs on your paper towels on top of your newspapers. Paper towels and newspapers are your buffers. These are Viva paper towels because when I started, I was told Viva paper towels are the best. So I only buy Viva paper towels because I stick with what they tell me is right. All right, how are we doing so far? Feeling confident with your eggs? Yes. Fantastic. Let's put a belt around this sucker. So basically, in the middle, you're just going to go all the way around. Doesn't matter if it's lopsided. Doesn't matter if it's perfect. With your pencil, eventually the pencil lead will fade and or be covered up by dye. So it doesn't have to be perfect. All right? All right. Even if you are someone who has to have perfection every single time, the pencil does not matter. Okay? Your pencil is there to help give you dye. All right? How are we doing so far? Do you have your belt around it?
Yes.
Oh, you have to put your belt around it.
Belt around the middle. Belt around the middle. All right. What you have now done, you have now done your... I just don't completely like know what this is called. But basically, you've made your quadrants. Okay? You've made your 4 sections front and back. When we go through and we do this with wax, you will be decorating front and back. Does it matter which is the front of the egg, which is the back of the egg? It does not until you are all done and say, "Ooh, I like this side better." All right? So, you think I'm kidding? I'm not kidding. Okay. Now,
All very serious.
pencils. Done. We're done with our pencils. All right? We are now going to take our Kiskas. We have our Kiska for just a moment.
Is that this?
It's your blue handled or red handled plastic thing.
It's very surgical looking.
Yes.
Yes, it's very surgical looking. All right, here's the deal. The colored part, that is plastic. You don't have to stick that in the flame. That will just melt. You know, it's all that. The little piece of metal that holds the fat end onto the plastic piece, that's just a net. You don't need to stick that in the flame. You're going to stick the big end in the flame. All right, this is the money shot because this is what's going to fill up with wax. Basically, you just kind of stick it in the flame, and I usually stick it on there sideways. And you let it sit there for just, count to 8, count to 5, whatever makes you feel comfortable. And then you're going to stick it on top of your nice square of beeswax. Your beeswax is going to turn black. Yeah, it doesn't have to go down. It doesn't have to touch the wick. It just
What side you do put in your beeswax?
You're going to stick the whole thing in your beeswax, and it's going to get your beeswax warm. And then you're going to scoop the beeswax up into the fat end of your Kiska. The fat end is the well. The little end is your writer. Okay? Once you've done that, you're going to kind of go swish, 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 and write a little bit on the newsprint, write a little bit on the paper plate. Don't write on your paper towels. 1, because you don't want wax on your paper towels. 2, because the fibers from the paper towels can get in your Kiska and clog things up. If you don't have wax coming out of your Kiska as you do this, if you don't have wax coming out of your Kiska as you do this, stick it back into the candle. You're going to go back and forth between the candle and the wax and the egg. Candle, wax, egg. All right? How are we doing so far?
Excellent.
Okay? Once you think you've got wax in your Kiska, you are going to want to put it on your egg. You're going to want to use it, hold it kind of like sideways. The tiny little end is going to go on your egg, and you're going to draw around it. Try to do it in one straight line to the best of your ability. Keep your egg on the paper towel so that you can rotate your egg without having to pick it up.
You want us to start?
I want you to start.
Okay.
Go ahead. Whichever line you want.
one that we've already
But you're going to cover up what you've done in pencil.
How fast are you supposed to move?
Use the pointy end. No, use the pointy end to draw on it. You're going to fill the fat end.
It probably,
Yeah.
I'm having trouble getting the wax.
All right. Here you go. Go. That's going to show as multi-lines. Okay? It doesn't have to be super thick. It doesn't have to be super thin.
Is there a speed you should go as you draw?
Whatever makes you comfortable.
Okay.
What am I doing around? I can't get stuff in this thing.
If you find that your Kiska isn't working at all, let me know. I have a handy little tool.
Okay.
It's called wire on a stick. And I believe that is the fancy name that they use for it. Now, all of these supplies that we have with us today, with the exception of the eggs and paper towels, I have purchased from the UkrainianEgg.com. That is a plug that you will hear frequently from me because they are the end-all be-all of Ukrainian egg suppliers. They're based out of, I think it's Minneapolis or St. Paul, Minnesota. If you go onto UkrainianEgg.com, they actually tell you the story of Luba and how she came to the United States and ended up in
like I'm having an EKG then.
All right.
Part of the design.
What if I got a big blob?
Yeah.
That's what I used to do.
The big blob has a very fancy name. It's a Ukrainian name. No, seriously, it's Krapansky. And oh, now I lost the word. It is Ukrainian for crap. Yeah, Krapansky is the Ukrainian word for crap. And that's going to go on the Raleigh Public Television, and you guys are going to be so proud.
And that is going to be bleeped out.
Thank you.
All right. Now, Kiska and Krapansky are the two Ukrainian words I know.
You guys know now?
If you find that this is something that you find relaxing and not stressful, and want to continue this, UkrainianGiftShop.com is where you can go and you can purchase kits that has dyes, has the Kiskas, has beeswax. If you find that this is something that you really like looking at but don't want to do, and you have nothing but money to spend, you can go on UkrainianGiftShop.com and they actually sell the eggs that are completed. They are expensive. Just to go ahead and tell you that right now.
Katie, can
Yes,
you
ma'am.
mop up one of those blogs if we get it?
No,
You own your blog.
you own your blog. But the good news is it's going to be a design feature that only yours has. If you noticed when you were looking at my eggs are not perfect. My eggs have flaws.
Just a little bit. And ideally once, I think it's good.
I did. I'll do it.
If you go over it again, it'll be multiple lines.
So with the exception of this nice lady right here, how are we doing?
Great, I've got some beautiful gloves.
Now, the ladies of the Ukrainian village will do this during the 40 days of Lent. So the 40 days between Ash Wednesday and Easter Sunday. Well, actually, technically it's Holy Thursday. And
I can't see it else.
Street wedding gloves. And they're all crooked.
I wonder if, oh, you can.
all right. So the ladies of the Ukrainian village get together during Lent. I've lost that single practice. If for no other reason than because holding it up like this by the wrist. All right. When we get to the fancy part of dyeing our eggs, and you ladies decide that you want to go outside of the 5 dye that are on your table, which is perfectly acceptable, please don't walk around with your eggs. All right? If you need to get up from your table to go to the restroom, to get to the water fountain, to wash your hands, do whatever, stick your eggs in your little plastic lucite thimble. That's the fancy word for it if you want to order them from UkrainianEgg.com. All right? Okay, once you have done all of your lines, we're now going to go to the rest of the decoration for egg number 1. So those squiggly lines you see on the white egg in the top left corner. So you're going to go around and you're going to do this egg right here. And you're going to do these lines and the little dots. This does not have to be perfect. All right? You're doing it the same way. It's just the same way. Oh, but look, that's a very well-placed block. No, it is. It's a very well-placed block.
Should we cancel it?
Cancel it again, right?
Yes,
No.
you don't need to pencil it, just do it in wax. You guys are good, just do it in wax.
Oh.
Is it better?
You guys got this. I can't draw a straight line either.
Beautiful.
No, it is not, nothing matches.
These are the eggs that we're doing today. Those are not straight lines. All right?
That's right.
You don't see that until you put it out.
Oh, I see. There's how I look at it.
Okay.
These are the eggs that we're doing today.
Ooh, beautiful.
All right? As you work on your eggs, and as we go through the dye, you will notice, you will notice that the wax will go from black to lighter to eventually look like they're non-existent.
Yeah, everybody's neat. I don't think this is working.
All right, I'll trade you out in just a second.
All right.
These are the eggs that we're doing today. But they're not perfect.
Oh, that looks nice. I have lost. I have a Dalmatian.
This is thing.
Make that your
That's okay.
All right, I'm going to trade you out for a different size.
Okay.
But
Those are
these are the eggs that
beautiful.
we're doing today.
Beautiful.
They're not straight lines. They're not perfect.
Yep.
All right? No, they're not.
Perfect for me.
Yeah, these are the eggs that we're doing today. In the Ukrainian tradition, the ladies of the village get together during Lent and make these. And they do it in the evenings after the children have gone to sleep, the chores have been done, dinner has been made and served and put away. And this is a time for them to get together and they say prayers for the people that they're making their eggs for. This is a very quiet, reverent time for them. Being the fact that I am not Ukrainian and I learned at a church retreat, I didn't learn to be quiet and reverent when I did this. All right? You stick a bunch of women in a room, and I don't know how the Ukrainians do that. Okay? But they make eggs for anything and everything. They make it for specific people. If there are ladies of the village, young girls that have found someone who they fancy, they might make it for them, for that particular person. If they if there's someone in the village who isn't well and could potentially pass away, they will make them for the caskets. They make them for the animals that are in the fields. They make them for the plants, the crops. They make them for any and everything. There's Ukrainian folklore that says that as long as there are Ukrainian eggs made each year, the world will continue. If the eggs stop being made, then the world will fall into chaos and end. Now, you do it on both sides. Again, not Ukrainian, don't necessarily believe that. And I'm grateful that if this stops, that the world will probably continue. That's just my thought process, my philosophy.
But you keep making them just in case.
I do keep making them because I enjoy them. Now, as you do this, right now, today, this moment, is rather stressful. But the next egg that you make will be a little less stressful. And in a couple of years, you'll reach the point where, as long as everybody is out of the house and you've got something good on television, you can sit at the dining room table and do this while you watch TV. Because I've been known to do that. We are going to go through a lot of paper towels today.
So we can just keep going on to picture 2 once we do the first?
If you have done everything that is in the first one, front to back, then you're going to stick it in your first color. I strongly recommend that yellow be the first color. It's not a big color in your picture, but you want yellow to be the first color because it's a really good starting color.
Okay, so I get to open the yellow jar.
Open the yellow jar, and you're going to use your spoon to gently put your egg in there. Don't walk around with your egg, bring the dye to you.
There you go.
How long should it sit in there for?
It can sit in there up to 5 minutes, but anytime less than that, you tilt it ever so, if there's any here too. Anytime less than that is fine. You're going to put it in there nice and gently. And then you're just going to let it sit for a minute. Take it out, pat it off, see if that's a good color for you. If not, put it back in. Alright? The key when you take them out, if you put a paper towel, fold it in half, and take it out that way, then you can dump the dye back into the jar, and it can be reused. So, save some decoration for you. Alright, so this nice lady has lines on her egg. You all will probably also have lines on your egg because when I was in Salisbury on Thursday, they all had lines on their eggs. When I learned how to do this, I was told that that's where the chicken stopped. But it's not true. It's basically there's wax on the conveyor belts at the processing plants. And so that's gonna be sections where the lines are always gonna be there. But they will eventually load up so they're not quite as obvious, but that's where there's wax on it. This is where the conveyor belt goes.
There's one that is
Conveyor belt goes.
Oh, yeah.
When your eggs are in the dye, you don't have to spin it like it's tea. Oh, because it's not. I'm just saying. Just saying. Yes.
How dry do they need to be?
Yeah.
No, we're putting one egg.
All right. If your egg is already yellow and you're sitting there trying to figure out what to do next, go ahead and start drawing what is in the yellow egg, which is the egg in the top right corner. This is where the conveyor belt goes. I'm not sure this is yours.
Yes, this is
We started there, yeah.
Oh, I don't know. We should ask, is it just normal Easter egg dye?
No, this is non-edible permanent dye. All right? So it will get on your hands, but the good news is it'll be off your hands tomorrow
Okay.
because you're going to continue to wash your hands throughout the day. All right?
I don't know. I think you have to order.
These, yeah, you order it from UkrainianEggShop.com, and it comes in. If your keiska is smoking, you put it in there a little too long.
If I don't want to do the hashtag signs, I don't have to, right?
No,
You don't want to do one?
these are your eggs.
I can do something. Looks like a butterfly. I'll do it hard.
Stick it back in the wax,
Why don't you sit
and then stick it back in your wax. It doesn't have to touch the wick, it'll just be in the flame. Can anybody tell me why eggs sink? If it's fresh, it sinks. If it's stale, it floats. Fresh eggs sink because the shells are porous, and as they age, air goes in. So they, if you bought your eggs from Market Basket, you're trying to figure out what to do, then you stick them in a bowl of water. If they sink, they're fresh. If they go halfway up, eat them really quick. If they float, toss them out. Or decorate. So my friend up here, who was nice enough to bring her own eggs, and she blew them out. She's now got the age-old problem of working on a stale egg. What do you do when you're trying to do a stale egg? That's when you use your spoon as a counterweight. Just hold it down. Because when it comes to Ukrainian eggs, it doesn't matter if they're fresh or if they're stale. You can use them you can just use your spoon as a counterweight to hold the egg down. Because I will go through all the eggs that I have left over after tomorrow. I'm going to go through and I will probably decorate. If all goes well, I'll remember to decorate.
How do you cover a large area? Say you want a larger area than just a line. You have to just go back and forth.
All right, so now as you're wondering, what size egg can I do this on? You guys are doing them on plain chicken eggs. This is a bantam chicken egg. I have a friend who has bantam chicken, so she gave me a dozen bantam chicken eggs. This is a peacock egg. So, yeah, Inglesby Farm in, I don't know if it's in Groveland or Boxford. They have peacocks. And they told me a couple of years ago, if I timed it right and happened to find an egg, they would give it to me because they can't sell them because they don't produce enough. And so I timed it right and convinced the lady to give me the egg. So, which is why it still looks exactly like this. But you can use farm fresh eggs. You can use any kind of egg except for Eggland's Best or any other egg that tattoos has tattoos on them. Because even though my daughter's name is Emily Bork, somehow I don't think the EB tattooed on an egg is going to go into her plan. This color is pink and your final color is purple. But what I recommend is figure out what you want your final color to be, and then we can work back from there. Okay? Your final color has to be a dark color, and your middle color is going to be a medium color. Okay? So, on your tables, you've got yellow, light green, scarlet, and black. Yellow, light green, scarlet, black, orange. Okay? And basically, the progression is yellow, light green, yellow, orange, light green, scarlet, black. I have other colors up here. So if you'd like to see what other colors I have, put your eggs in your lucite thimble and come up, and they're over here.
Do we just use one group of colors, or do we use all these colors?
No, just one.
Oh, okay.
Those were examples of other color combinations. When I did this the first time, I found that because the original pattern said yellow to pink to purple, everybody wanted to do yellow to pink to purple. I've got one pink and I've got one purple. So I've tried to give you other choices for colors.
When you make your dyes, how long do they last, or do you have to keep remaking dyes?
They'll last years. These dyes were made 3 years ago.
Wow. I've been saving all of my glass jars from whatever I buy, sauerkraut and herring or whatever, so they're coming in here big.
Yeah, the catch with these is because every color except for orange has vinegar in it. If you use plain old mason jars or anything with the metal lids, trade them out after a year for plastic because the vinegar will eat through it. And then you get rust in the dye, and that just makes sense.
How long do you let them rest before you dye?
Just dry them off.
Oh.
Just pat them dry, and then you're done.
Okay.
What's that, the scarlet for the field?
Scarlet, if you want black to be your final color, scarlet is a good middle color. But scarlet is also a good end color. It's from scarlet, the only place you really have to go is black.
What about turquoise? Can that be an end, or does that have to be a middle?
Either way, it depends. If you want turquoise to be the end, then I would recommend either orange or light green as middle. Okay? Or you can even do pink as a middle.
I'm going to go with light green.
All right. Once you've got it in and out of your second color, then you're going to do the designs that are on the third egg.
Can I do a design and then you dip in something?
Yes, that's what you're going to do. Yeah,
But
but
it have to be darker than purple, or it can be any color?
it's going to be darker than purple, but your purple's only going to turn out to be a little darker than lavender.
So what's darker than purple?
There's royal blue, there's red, there's black, I've got brown, I've got all sorts of colors.
Another thing we took is mushrooms. What are you making over there?
Some good middle colors are pink, purple, turquoise is a good middle color. I've also got light blue. You have light green on your tables. Orange is a good middle color because you're not going to have a lot in the middle color.
I know the reason I
Color?
Now let's say that you all have decided that this is the best thing since sliced bread and this is going to become your new craft. You go on UkrainianEgg.com, you're going to order Luba's Easter egg decorating kit. This is I ordered it with a number 2 Delrin Kiski. And the number 2 Delrin Kiski is basically Kiska is what you have in your hand. There are 3 different choices, but if you order the kit, this is what it comes with. The keyword is Delrin, which is plastic, versus the wood.
Okay.
Don't
Dora
worry.
wants to go home and order.
It's awesome. It really is. The kit comes with
You didn't write that on there, did you?
no. The kit comes with 5 dies, which is the 5 dies you have on your table. It comes with the square of wax. It comes with the blue Kiska. And I think that's it. You add your own candles. And let me tell you, these candles were hard to find. I bought them at Target. I'm sorry?
The orange and turquoise go together?
Did you say this is the middle color?
Can you send it?
Yeah.
Green, orange, or light?
Danger. Light blue? Sorry.
Okay, who's got orange style, because I make so many mistakes.
They're not mistakes, they're artistic choices. Purple, I like that. Purple. What was your final color?
The scarlet, white final? Or is that too similar?
No, that's perfectly fine. I just wanted to make sure the purple. You didn't think so.
No, it's not.
There we go.
So in line with.
Ooh.
That's a nice one.
So, the candles I bought at Target, the key with those is I went for either white or off-white because I didn't want the colors to potentially leach into your eggs if they were colored, because it's more dye.
So any candle?
Any candle, taper candles are the best. 1, because you get more life out of them, and 2, because when we do the great reveal, you want the ability to get closer to it. Alright, now as you're getting frustrated, because you're looking at this going, this does not look pretty. There are too many design ideas, design choices in this. You gotta wait until the great reveal. Because what you're looking at now is a work in progress. I am sure that Monet did not look at his tacked-on painting and go, wow, this is absolutely fantastic. I'm sure he looked at it and went, well, there's a mistake, and there's a mistake, and there's a mistake. Wait till you're done. Then it'll all be beautiful.
Right.
Trust me.
No, it might have.
Are you finished with the purple?
Candles and pencils and paper
Do they
plates.
come in that little kit, you guys?
5 colors.
You must have said it a million times.
UkrainianGiftShop.com.
Gift shop.
I think my daughter's probably already on the website.
I just found someone on Amazon.
Oh, now I can add more to black.
Yeah. I think of you
Once I did yellow twice.
This is
I think this back to you in a sec.
They don't have to know. You said it. They don't have to wipe it
Well,
off.
and actually, I don't like that.
I do.
Yeah.
And I do have stripes, but I didn't see the stripes until I got that dark.
I like that color though.
Yeah.
To me, that looks like it was done on a brown egg versus a white.
Oh, yeah. Now, why do I keep getting to the white things?
Oh, yeah, that's pretty burning.
No. What am I doing? What am I doing for my design?
That's gonna be gorgeous, Bob.
You're shaky today.
You and Mark like venison.
Mark likes it. I'm not a fan. I just like huge, big, whole leg.
It was very loud.
They were
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, I want to
Might
venison.
not like you, but
Oh, that's good.
Yeah.
So we have a freezer cold, so. Okay. Who are your connections? This Mark? Mark.
border collie. Where's he go?
Can I do another color?
He goes down to his mom's and
I like that color.
I've never done.
But you don't worry about it?
He does more.
When you guys are ready for the great reveal, the important thing to remember as you're putting your eggs up to the wax, or I'm sorry, up to the flame, if your flame starts to do this, you want to take the egg away from the flame because this will put soot all over your egg.
That's what it is. So, yeah.
Soot can come off by turpentine. I'm not allowed to play with turpentine, so I have some sooty eggs. All right? Once you are completely done with your egg and you are ready to take it home and show the world, you can put shellac on your eggs. This is a shellacked egg, nice and shiny. This is an unshellacked egg. Looks matte. All right? The shellac you can get at the hardware store. You just get the smallest can of the non-water-based shellac. Oil-based. Keyword. Yeah. Because the water-based will go into your dyes and can run your dyes. So go the oil-based. You just need to put like plastic bags, like little sandwich bags on your hands. Put just a dollop in the palm of one hand and then run your egg around. And then stick it on top of thumbtacks to let it dry. Like a tripod of thumbtacks or a tripod of toothpicks or something. So it'll dry.
Mine's
All right.
similar to yours.
All right.
Colors.
When you guys are ready for the great reveal, let me know. I'll come around and I'll get you started.
My black doesn't come off.
I was not paying attention when I asked.
Yeah, you just bring it right up to and you're not going to work up with
I realized I asked.
I
get on the road.
I was like,
I know I asked her this question.
If you find that your wax doesn't want to come off, it's because you need to hold it a little closer to the flame.
So funny.
If your egg is starting to get warm in that spot, go to a different spot because you don't want to cook the inside. Okay?
If I go for this color, should I go to black or purple?
Black. Purple is sparkling up.
I was checking.
Yeah.
That's what I thought.
Yeah, there will not be any two eggs that are alike. Because if you notice, the two eggs that I walked around were the exact same thing, and they weren't alike. When you put your egg into the flame, hold it steady. Don't run it around, because that'll also put soot on it. And don't let the flame kiss the egg. Yeah, no, there will be no egg breaking today.
So So we just put it into the flames.
I told you about that. Oh, yeah. And you can flame dance on it.
If you think you've got all of the wax off of your eggs, run your hands over it. Just double check. You'll be able to feel any wax that's still on there.
Oh, boy. That's going to take a while.
We got time.
Oh, wow.
You're making a mess.
I'm sorry.
It's a big jar.
They were so
Happy? No.
I was going to say, I've done it. She's done it before.
I have a first aid kit.
Oh, no. It's fine.
It's not that good when I get it, that's it.
That sounds fun.
I'll be right home with you guys.
Yes,
Come join us. Come join us. My husband's playing it.
Yeah, that's the back. That's the back. That's all. Oh, we all like to do it this time.
I am really glad you ladies were able to come today.
It's really fun. We're enjoying this time. Yes. So how many of these can you accommodate talking?
I have 15.
And then you rub it up.
Do you want to put it in
I'd
there?
rather off all the names.
When you go home today, everybody's got an egg crate. You want to stick your egg in the middle back section of the egg crate so that when you close it, that is in my bowl, that's the most secure location.
Oh, remember somebody sent a radio on fire?
But remember to rotate it.
Yes, you have to rotate it.
Tell Tony to do that.
But just know that as the longer it takes you to finish, the more you'll have to break that egg.
A spoon is a counterweight. Yeah, like you did.
So turpentine and bleach are two things I've got left.
Well, you said turpentine?
Mhm.
And bleach.
Bleach will take all the color off, so you don't want to use bleach. That's what I've done.
When I went to.
Be quite honest, that's what I've done. Thank you for coming.
Thank you for teaching us what you for saying.
You're welcome. Oh, wait.
You're seeing you
Otherwise, how are you
players.
going to put it on display?
Cool.
I learned how
Such a beautiful green.
really nice, and I can't tell the difference now.
When you're putting your eggs in your cartons, don't forget your little thimble. The thimble has to go home with you too, otherwise you can't put it on display.
Oh, no. Don't forget
Your little plastic thimble.
Your stand.
Your stand.
Professional.
It's nicer than gorgeous.
I did 4 colors instead of the 3.
When you leave today, you're going to want to make sure that you take your egg carton, your thimble, your egg, and your pattern if you so desire.
Thank you so much again.
Thank you, Don. Thank you for coming. Ladies, have a
Thank you for all your patience.
so we just let everything go without cleaning up.